Cardigans, and for what it's worth, in my opinion, one of the best things I've done for many a year. It's XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington.
I sometimes wish you spoke like that for real, because I wouldn't leave the studio with a headache then. There you are, see, it's just come stinging back.
Oh dear.
A lot of people I meet from the street, they go, I wish I was Ricky Gervais's mate. No, you don't. Let me put your mind at rest now, you're not missing anything, am I right, Karl?
Who says that walking along the street?
No, people
When's that ever been said?
They shout out.
What are you thinking? Oh, just thinking. I wish I was Ricky Gervais's mate.
No, I've met people that are friends of friends.
He must be fun to be with.
Exactly,
in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
In an echoey small space.
Oh, imagine sharing a prison cell with Ricky.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it, Karl? Oh, that would be fantastic. Well, I'd be the daddy, wouldn't I?
I hate it.
The suicide rate in the prison would shoot through the roof.
Yeah. No, come over here and suck mummy's. Now listen.
What do you reckon, Karl, to being Ricky's friend? Did you find that an exhilarating experience, something that you enjoy and look forward to?
It's alright for about an hour, and then anything over that is when he's just messing about and he wants to hit me on the head with a tray.
We went for lunch yesterday, didn't we? That was more than an hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we had a drink in the week, didn't we? That was more than an hour, wasn't it?
That was a good...
Is he okay when it's just the two of you? Because I find as soon as there's a third person...
Well, yeah, just to give you...
He just starts showing off.
Well, there's a little bit of that, right? But I went out with Ricky, like you said, right, for a drink in the week. And, you know, I went home, and Suzanne, the girlfriend, said, where have you been? I said, I've been out for a drink with Ricky. Hey, you've been out for a while, what have you been talking about? I sort of sat there for a minute and thought, there's nothing that I can tell her we've been talking about that she'll show any interest in. She said, well, you must remember something. I said, I can't. She goes, no, something, just anything that you were talking about. What are you talking about? I said, right. The one I remember, one of the topics that came up was, imagine that the only way to have a kid was you had to sleep with a squid. How many kids would you have?
I would say it was the future and the squid taking over. The only way they could do it now was like a filter. You had to see with the squid. I was going, would you? He's going, what do you mean? I was going, would you? He said, there's not a time he hasn't gone home with a conversation buzzing in his head that he got confused about.
Would anyone want a kid that much?
Does the child look like a squid when you have it, or is it
No, it's not. I was going, no, it's normal, but it's like a filter with a system. The only way you can do it to make sure, you have to impregnate the squid. And it's a filter, and then you can, test tube baby in the future.
Did the busted lads mention that in the song?
He did, but he did underwater, that's where I got it from. I said, well, you probably sort of like get quite friendly with them eventually. You probably would be breeding with the squids and,
So what does Suzanne make of Gervais? Has she met him a few times?
Yeah, she just said, she can understand why we sort of get on, because we both sort of come up with daft stuff all the time, and...
Yeah.
But I'm quite happy to have a discussion.
I love the way that it talks about his partner like the adult.
Well,
like we're the
how
two kids that go out playing, talking about squids.
That is exactly how I see Suzanne. It's like if she wasn't there, I don't think you'd get out of the house in the morning.
Well,
you'd have tied your shoelaces together.
Yeah, you'd have your earplugs in.
You'd have forgotten to put your trousers on.
The fire alarm would be going off, and someone would have left a frying pan on. The builders would be sort of like throwing you round.
Yeah, I imagine she makes you like a round of sandwiches.
Well, she's noticed that I don't ask as many questions now. Because, like, last night was one of the first times in ages that I'd asked her something, right?
What did you ask?
Where's the bathroom?
No, right, do you know, like, I'm always thinking stuff when I'm bored, right? if it's when I'm washing up or what have you.
Yeah.
And, last night, she was watching, that Midsummer
Murders.
Midsummer Murders, right? I don't like it, I think it's rubbish. Right? So,
another thing you've got in common then.
No, but do you know what I mean? But I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? She really likes it.
He was standing, he's watching the microwave, she was going, Karl, no, this is the telly. This is the telly.
Wait a minute, this chicken's gonna come round.
I've seen this before it comes round again in a minute. Karl, what's the washing machine, Karl?
So she's watching it, loving it and that, and I'm bored, because it's just, it's a boring programme. So I'm sort of looking through magazines that we've got.
Trying to find animals without heads.
And, it's in one of her magazines, and there's this article, right, about these identical twins, brothers, right, and one of them meets this girl, right, and it turns out she's got an identical...
I've heard of this is true.
Right.
They get married.
She's got an identical sister.
Right. So, they both go out.
So two identical twins, male going out with two identical twin sisters. Yeah.
So I was looking at it going, oh, that's weird, because you see them, like, they're always wearing the same cardigans and that, and that's like...
But then,
That's
no,
all
but
right.
if you were an identical twin, then you probably would fancy the same sort of person, wouldn't you?
But then, I was asking, she was going, it's getting near the, you know, the plot, the murderer. If they had a kid, would they look the same?
Yeah.
Would
Well, not necessarily, because it depends on what genes are passed over. Even though they've got the same exact sets of genes, that you don't pass on all the genes, do you? It's 50-50, but you don't pass on exactly the same genes in each sperm, let alone with an identical twin.
Yeah, but even though you don't do that, like, my brother and sister don't look like me, but
No.
you know they were related.
Because they share 50% of your father's
talk
genes.
gobbledygook.
Yeah. No, you share 50% of your father's genes and 50% of your mother's, but not the same 50% on 2 occasions.
I think you completely
lost him already.
it.
I've lost him already.
When you brought in the word genes,
Yeah.
I thought you was thinking, what
No,
sort
they
of
wouldn't
trousers were?
necessarily. They wouldn't necessarily, no. They could do by
Did
sheer
Suzanne look
chance.
at you like Oliver Hardy looks at Stan Laurel when he's just like nailed his hand to a wall or something?
She went, ask Ricky tomorrow. And
Yeah, and then turned up John Nettles.
and then turn it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that is brilliant. I think there's I heard a story once where 2 sets of Siamese twins married. What if you fancied the one on the left?
Yeah. What if one of them was having an affair behind the other one's back? That'd be difficult to conduct, wouldn't it? You better show off he's waking up.
What are you doing? What are you
Hey?
doing? What are you doing down there? What are you doing down there?
Nothing, there's no one down here.
Well, I think there is, because I can see her sister here.
No.
What's she doing? What's she
No,
doing?
they just-
She's covering for her. What are you covering for him for? He's your husband. Is my wife down there?
I read something about some Siamese twins.
Go on.
And, one of them was saying, you know, we get on each other's nerves and that.
The other was going, we don't.
I didn't know this.
I've never liked you. I've never liked you.
One of them was going, oh, you know, I hate doing the washing up, but I let her do it. And, the person doing the interview said, well, why don't you help out? Just dry up and get the job done quicker. And she was like, no, I can't stand it. I prefer just to hang around there and wait for the other girl
Yeah.
to do the washing up on her own rather than help and get the job done.
Sure.
Just selfish.
Well, there was one set of Siamese twins. One had a job and the other one didn't.
That's ludicrous.
Yeah. The other one was unemployed. The other one had a job. She had to go to work. She had to get up at 6 o'clock on her day
I'm
off.
supporting you, literally.
Yeah.
Then they get done off the social for sort of...
Yeah, because the other one was signing on.
Are you living together? We're not. The feeder, just the way I'm feeling, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve and Carl.
Alright.
Just having a whale of a time, both of them. They love being in this room with me for 2 hours. That is their favourite part of the week, I think, isn't it? I haven't said that, but I'm assuming they love it. Right, competition time. Brand new competition we come up with. My favourite we've ever done, I'll be honest. And a great prize, The Sixth Sense. You get a clip of a great film, and then you get to keep the great film. Now, I'll just explain this competition. I think Carl is a little bit of a frustrated actor, and so by the power of technology, Carl takes the role in a film, and there's a question about it afterwards. This is a scene starring Karl Pilkington from The Sixth Sense.
Jeez, I hope nobody got hurt.
Be alright.
You're very quiet.
I'm just thinking about stuff. That's all.
You're mad at Mr. Play, aren't you?
A little bit annoyed, to be honest. Went down a storm playing the drums in Little Donkey, but your loss.
I'd give anything to have been there.
Well, you wouldn't, because you didn't, but like I say, it's your loss, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just quiet because I'm thinking about stuff, like I said, right? I'll make a big deal out of it.
What is it?
Well, I was just thinking, what would happen, right, if you put a chameleon on a mirror? How would it handle that? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Cole, you're scaring me.
That's scaring you. This'll scare you, right? The other day, saw two old men sat there having a Twix. You never see that, do you? Old fella having a Twix.
You see ghosts, Cole?
No, just the old fellas having a Twix, boy.
They talk to you?
No,
They tell you to do things?
no, because they were too busy eating, but what's that got to do? What are you looking like that for? Do you think I'm some sort of freak or something? Is that
I would never think that about you.
Well,
Ever.
No.
Got it?
Alright.
Well,
Well, it's a very chilling scene, that.
that is great. Oh, that is
It's a very spooky scene from the film The Sixth Sense. Rick, I think you've got a question.
Well, yeah, I mean, Carl played it wonderfully there, the role of the child that sees weird stuff. But who played the original role? What was the name of the child actor who played the original role?
It's email only, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You can win a copy of The Sixth Sense. But I think we can probably play it again later for those that missed it, or those that caught the tail end, or those that need another reminder.
Yeah, you got, get your, it's 15, 20 minutes, get your, answers in, we'll pick a lucky winner, and then, we'll play it again, because I think Carl can go to Hollywood with some of the things I've seen there.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
I'm gonna play a track now. We tried to play it a couple of weeks ago, but the jumped, so I got a new CD of it. It's Papa Garcia, and this is Natalie and Nusi.